Okay, we're going to be making a cookie plate on this glass plate here that I found from the Dollar Tree. We're going to show you how to size it. So if you needed to change the size of your design, you would need to make sure that you measure your plate. So you measure the outside of the plate. This is 10.5 inches. And then you also want to measure the inside plate. Mine has a little lip in here. If yours is flat, you don't need to measure that part, obviously, but mine has a little lip, so I need to make sure I measure that. So this is 6.5 inches. When we did our design, we're going to go ahead and put this on the back. And the reason that we're doing that is adhesive vinyl is not food safe. So you want to make sure that you put your vinyl on the back side so that you can safely put your cookies on the front. If you do decide that you want to put it on the front, if you wanted to get like, they make like clear plates that you can put on top of that, or you could put a napkin on it and then put your food on top of it, but I would not put vinyl on top and then put your food on top of that. So this is a plate that I got from the Dollar Tree. Let's go ahead and go over the supplies that we're going to use today. We're going to use rubbing alcohol to clean this off, and if you have any sticker residue. We need our weeding tools. We have a standard grip mat, a brayer to help our vinyl stick to the mat. We've got our vinyl and our transfer tape. We have, today I'm using black, red, gold, green, and blue. I'm just going to go ahead and clean this, like I said, with the rubbing alcohol to get any kind of residue off. Any kind of sticker residue. This will help your vinyl adhere better to your plate. Okay, so while this is drying, let's head on over to Design Space and I'll show you how to get it all sized up and ready. Okay, so I've shown you how to measure your plate so that you know that your design is correct. I'm going to go ahead and bring in a circle here. This is going to represent our plate. Now, like I said, I have a 10.5 inch plate, but this size right here would be whatever the size of your plate. You want to make sure you do the whole outside, measure the outside of your plate. And then we're going to duplicate this. And this part is going to be 6.5. All right, and then I want to take both of these and I'm going to line these. All right, let me change the colors on these so we can see them a little better. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and group that, and I want to send it to the back. Okay, and then our design is going to sit right on top. Now, if you needed to make this a little bit smaller, or maybe you don't even have a center, you could absolutely move all your little things around here. The way that I did this design, I'm going to come over here, and the black words right here, I'm actually going to ungroup this. Instead of making this all solid all the way around, I broke this up into pieces, and the reason that I did that is applying that piece of a big piece of vinyl like that to your plate is going to be a little more difficult. So I broke it up into sections so that you can cut out this section and then cut the next section and then apply it to your plate that way. It'll be much easier to apply it without getting bubbles or having your adhesive vinyl twist on you. The green right here, all these little dots, the red dots and the gold dots, they're all individual, they're separate. I did that so that if you wanted to change the colors, you actually could do that. You know, this is all about personal preference. I'm also not going to attach these dots, and the reason that I'm not, and I'm going to show you here, I will ungroup this here and I'll show you just like the green ones here. If I was to attach this and we go to make it, your green dots are going to be in the right place, but all this right here, this is all going to be wasted vinyl. If you don't want to waste the vinyl, I would just leave them so that they're not attached, so then they would come out like this. And all of the dots are the same size, so you really could just look at the picture of the design and then stick your dots in the correct place if you want to, or really put them wherever you like. But that's why I'm not going to attach my dots, because that's going to be a whole lot of wasted vinyl. The white part we do not need. That is just for a visual purpose. Okay, so if we go ahead, actually with these snowflakes, I'm going to ungroup these, and I am going to attach my snowflakes, those 3 there, and then I'm going to attach the other 2. Again, you wouldn't have to do this, it's personal preference, but I think for this project I'm going to go ahead and do that. But one more thing I want to show you, because I'm going to be putting this on the back of a plate, this needs to be mirrored. But before we go over, I'm just going to go ahead and flip this here. So now that it's mirrored. If you didn't do it that way, you could use your mirror button down here. You would have to go through all your mats. But this is just a simple trick that you could do. So this way, in case you forget to mirror your design, if it's flipped, it's already done for you. So I'm going to go ahead and arrange these vinyl pieces so we can save on our black vinyl when we go to cut it. Okay, I am going to leave a little bit of space between because it makes it easier for cutting with scissors after it's done. So this is going to get cut first, and then your little red dots and all the rest of the little dots, and then there's your snowflakes. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to actually move my dots to another mat. So that way it makes it easier for cutting. Now these all are going to have to be done individually. So I'm going to speed through this so that you guys don't have to watch this part. Okay, now that we have all of our vinyl moved, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. Because I'm going to be using adhesive vinyl, I have my Cricut set on custom. I have changed the dial to the custom setting on my machine. And this is where you would choose your material that you're going to cut. If you don't have anything up here, these are my favorites. This is what I use all the time. But you can go to Browse All Materials, and then you could type in vinyl, and all your vinyls will come up here. So whichever you choose to use, like if you're going to be using adhesive vinyl, you might want to do a premium outdoor. Let's see, premium vinyl, premium outdoor vinyl. If you're going to use the custom setting, I mean, you can use on your Cricut where it just says vinyl setting, you can absolutely do that. But for my machine, I have found that the wax paper setting works best when I cut vinyl. That's just a setting that I like. It is not a vinyl setting, it's just something that I found that works best with my machine. So I'm going to click vinyl, and then I'm going to do more, and then we're going to go ahead and cut this. We're going to cut the black first. Okay, first we're going to go ahead and put our black on. Get this lined up. And like I said, I like to use a brayer to help adhere the vinyl to your mat. Okay, you can see I have it on custom. Go ahead and load it, and then we will let this cut. Okay. Unload our mat here, and then we're going to put our colors on. So when you move your vinyl from one mat to the other, you need to make sure you remember what colors go where. Typically when I do this, I will be putting my vinyl on as I move the pieces from one mat to the other so that I remember. And if you store your vinyl in rolls, this is what happens. It will be curled up like this when you go to put this on your mat. I'm going to cut this piece down just a little bit. So that's another reason that it's great to have a brayer, because it will help get your vinyl to lay down flat and stick to your mat so that it doesn't puff up. I'm going to push this back just a little bit. so it doesn't puff up when you go to cut it. Okay, let's go ahead and weed our vinyl. Set that aside there. And I'm going to cut down the black here to make it easier when I go to put it on my plate. Remember, when you're weeding, you always want to go slow. Okay, got most of our weeding done here. Just finishing up this last few pieces. Okay, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to put some transfer tape on my words here. And I'm actually going to trim this down even further so it's easier to apply. I always have my design up on my screen, whether it's my phone or my computer screen, or I just take a picture of it, just so I can remember where everything goes. The less my brain has to work, the better. Okay, I'm going to unwrap my transfer tape here. I actually put these back on the roll so I can save them and use them again. Okay, this is the first part I want to put on. And I'm going to burnish this to make sure that it stays on. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this took a little while to get this all lined up, but because you can see it on the other side and you haven't actually laid anything down yet, It is doable. Just have to have patience. This one actually needs to be moved down a little bit more. Okay, I've lined them up on here to where it looks good, I think. You can see through. I don't know if you can see that, but I can see the words. I think it looks okay. So now I'm going to start. I'm going to use painter's tape. I'm going to use the hinge method so I don't have to take it off completely. And what that's going to do is I'm going to put this right here. Cut this little overlap off right here. Pull this back. Make sure it sticks. And I'm going to cut this off right here. Now you want to burnish this so that it stays on the plate. And slowly roll this back. Okay, we can cut that part off. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Alright, there's one part done. Okay, and then we'll just repeat the process all the way around here. Okay, there we've got. All right, now we'll put the rest of the pieces on. And you can just put your dots wherever you like them. And there we have it. There's our finished plate. And that's it for today's project, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. You can find the free SVG in the freebie library, design number 135. I'd love to see your projects if you make them. Come on over to the Facebook group and show it off. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you.